To understand why presidential transition briefings matter and what happens when they don't work, you need to know three things. First, the transition briefing process was born from tragedy. After 9/11, the 9/11 Commission found that the contested 2000 election dramatically shortened the transition from Clinton to Bush. The delays left the new administration unprepared for terrorism threats. The commission was blunt. Rushed transitions create national security vulnerabilities. So, Congress strengthened the existing Presidential Transition Act in later years. Now, by law, presidents-elect get daily intelligence briefings. They get classified summaries of threats. They get briefed on covert operations. The goal: no president should walk into the Oval Office blind to the dangers facing America. November 15th, 2016. Trump Tower, New York City. Ted Gustaro, a 30-year CIA veteran, sits across from the president-elect of the United States. On the table between them, the president's daily brief, the most classified document in America. Satellite imagery, covert operations, nuclear threats, everything a president needs to know to keep the country safe. Trump reaches out, touches the briefing, but doesn't open it. Gustaro will later tell CIA historians he touched it, but he doesn't really read anything. This is the moment America's intelligence community realizes they have a problem. The incoming commander-in-chief of the world's most powerful military doesn't want to know what they know. Because as Trump sees it, he knows more than anybody about anything. And that includes the generals, the USL intel community, and, well, everything else. I'm Charles Denyer, and this is Chasing Power, where we break down the moments, the scandals, the battles, and the players that shape American politics, both past and present. Today's episode, Trump, inside the debriefing of the president-elect.
Welcome to Chasing Power, the path to Pennsylvania Avenue, a Charles Denyer Productions podcast.
Ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
And the people who knock these buildings down will hear all of us soon.
The audacity of hope. America, you've vindicated that hope.
And we will make America great again.
To understand why presidential transition briefings matter and what happens when they don't work, you need to know three things. First, the transition briefing process was born from tragedy. After 9/11, the 9/11 Commission found that the contested 2000 election dramatically shortened the transition from Clinton to Bush. The delays left the new administration unprepared for terrorism threats. The commission was blunt. Rushed transitions create national security vulnerabilities. So, Congress strengthened the existing Presidential Transition Act in later years. Now, by law, presidents-elect get daily intelligence briefings. They get classified summaries of threats. They get briefed on covert operations. The goal: no president should walk into the Oval Office blind to the dangers facing America. Second, the briefing itself, the President's Daily Brief, or the PDB, is legendary. Created in 1964 for Lyndon Johnson, it's a top-secret document produced every morning by the Director of National Intelligence. It fuses CIA, NSA, FBI, and military intelligence into a digestible set of intel. We're talking about the most sensitive sources: Allied intelligence, covert operations, rogue nations, and so much more. It's customized for each president. Bush consumed it daily. Obama relied heavily on it. Different styles, same goal: keep the president informed. Third, the transition is massive. President-elects don't just get intelligence briefings. They must fill over 4,000 political appointments, manage a federal government with 4 million employees and growing, all while overseeing a massive federal budget. Hundreds of transition personnel flood federal agencies gathering information. It's not just symbolic, it's operational. The outgoing administration by law must help. But here's the catch. It all depends on one thing. The president-elect has to want the help. And in 2016, Donald Trump, well, he wasn't just that interested in the PDB. Now, here's what happened. November 9th, 2016, the day after Trump's upset victory over Hillary Clinton, GSA Administrator Denise Turner Roth issues the ascertainment letter, the official designation of Trump as president-elect. Immediately, the machinery of government swings into action. Office space is allocated, funding is approved, and intelligence briefings are scheduled. Director of National Intelligence James Clapper has planned for this. He's assembled a large number of intelligence officers, the largest transition briefing team ever deployed. They are career analysts, not political appointees. Clapper's trying to avoid even the slightest appearance of politics at play. He's optimistic. Obama told the entire cabinet to exceed Bush's cooperation level from 2008. On November 15th, in Trump Tower, is Trump's first post-election PDB briefing. Ted Gustaro, the career CIA analyst chosen to brief the president-elect, has prepared fully. He knows Trump's a businessman, not a career politician. He's ready to adapt. The briefing begins. Trump is primarily a listener, Gustaro notes. The material is new to him. That's expected. What's not expected, Trump's attention span. His resistance to reading, his tendency to veer off topic. Clapper later describes it bluntly. Trump would fly off on tangents. They'd maybe get 8 or 9 minutes of real intel in an hour's discussion. Trump was, in Clapper's assessment, not really interested, as we found out. He doesn't read much. He likes bullet points. So the intelligence community scrambles to adapt. They cut the brief shorter, 3 one-page items instead of comprehensive analysis. Declarative sentences. No feature-length pieces. Mike Pence, the vice president-elect, tells them to use maps, as maybe visuals will help President Trump. Trump takes 14 briefings over 10 weeks. That's actually more than Nixon, who took 0 in 1968, but that's because Nixon deferred to Kissinger to review the intel. Regardless, Trump's 14 briefings were nowhere near the daily or near-daily pace of most presidents-elect in recent years. But here's what nobody knew at the time. Trump wasn't just disengaged, he was actually hostile.
Nobody understands the press.
December 2016, Trump goes on Fox News. Asked why he's skipping intelligence briefings, he delivers a one-line that will haunt his presidency. Well, I get it when I need it. I don't have to be told. I'm like a smart person. Inside the intel community, alarm bells ring. Mike Pence, by the way, is taking briefings virtually every day. The contrast couldn't be starker. The VP-elect understands the stakes. The president-elect thinks he's too smart to need help. Then comes the Steele dossier briefing. James Comey briefs Trump on the existence of unverified intelligence alleging Russian blackmail material. Trump absolutely explodes. Gustaro recalls that at their next session, Trump vented for 10 minutes about how we were out to destroy him. Trump never believes the intel community's denials. His relationship with them sours permanently. And the pattern continues into Trump's presidency. After inauguration, his PDB shrinks even further. He receives oral briefings only 2 to 3 times per week. He rarely, if ever, reads the written brief. Intelligence officials spend enormous time and energy and resources trying to brief him effectively, but it's often a complete waste of time, according to the Washington Post. In August 2017, National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster struggles to hold Trump's attention during Afghanistan briefings. Even a single page of bullet points seems to tax the president's attention span. A Trump confidant describes him as the 2-minute man, as the president has patience for a half a page at most. And some say the consequences become tragically clear in early 2020.
Growing concern about a new and rare pneumonia-like virus that has caused at least 2 deaths and has spread from China to other countries in Asia.
Trump routinely skips reading the PDB. He has little patience for oral briefings. When COVID-19 intel starts appearing in the brief, he misses some of the early alarms as the pandemic spirals. After the November 2020 election, Trump's briefings continue until January 6, 2021. After the Capitol attack, his briefer, Beth Sanner, reports that no more PDB sessions were scheduled. Trump's presidency ends with the president refusing the intel meant to protect the nation. So here's where it gets really interesting. But Trump did not just ignore the briefings in 2016. In 2020, he weaponized the transition process itself. When Joe Biden won, GSA Administrator Emily Murphy, a Trump appointee, refused to issue the ascertainment letter. For 2 weeks, Biden could not access classified intel, coordinate with agencies, or prepare his team. Over 100 former national security officials sent letters warning of the national security risk. Democrats cited the 9/11 Commission findings. Rushed transitions get people killed. Finally, on November 23rd, Murphy relented. Biden got access, but 2 weeks had been lost. The irony is suffocating. Trump, who didn't want intel briefings in 2016, blocked someone else from getting them in 2020. The man who thought he was too smart to need briefings denied Biden the same intel, all during a pandemic, no less. Now, Trump defenders make some legitimate points. Different presidents consumed information differently. I get it. George W. Bush wanted daily oral briefings. Obama preferred to read the written PDB extensively and typically by himself. Some presidents are visual learners. Some prefer a conversation. There's no one right way. Trump's allies argue he was getting intel, not just the traditional format. Maybe he talked to advisors. He was watching news. He had conversations with foreign leaders. Maybe the formal PDB process didn't work for his style. But that doesn't mean he wasn't uninformed. And here's where it gets complicated. Presidential daily briefs can be bureaucratic. Sometimes intel agencies get things wrong. Remember WMDs in Iraq? Maybe Trump's skepticism of the intel community wasn't entirely unjustified. Maybe his business background made him question institutional assumptions. There's a case to be made that healthy skepticism of intelligence isn't always bad. But the facts are stubborn. Ted Gustaro wasn't a political hack. He was a 30-year CIA veteran. When he says Trump doesn't read briefings, that's an observer's assessment, not partisan spin. And when COVID intel was being presented in early 2020 and Trump wasn't engaging with it, that's a problem. Skepticism is one thing. Willful ignorance is another. Here's the crazy part. We're doing it all over again. In January 2025, Trump began his second term. And guess what? Reports emerged within months of how he's receiving even fewer intel briefings than his first term. Just 12 presentations from intelligence officials in his first few months. Meanwhile, DNI Tulsi Gabbard has been reportedly exploring creative solutions to get Trump to pay attention.
There's never been a more critical time. Fox News Media brings
one idea being discussed: transform the president's daily brief into a Fox News-style broadcast. Hire a Fox News producer. Get a Fox News personality to present it. Make intel look like cable news. Maybe then Trump will watch. No joke, no kidding. That's a real story. The President of the United States, facing war in Ukraine, Middle East crisis, China's global expansion, domestic threats, reportedly needs intelligence packaged as entertainment television to pay attention. The secrets are being told. The question is anyone listening? I'm Charles Denyer. Thanks for chasing power with me.
All opinions expressed are those of the host and do not reflect the official positions of any political organization, government agency, or private institution. This podcast is for news reporting, commentary, and criticism. We use excerpts, clips, and quotations from political events and other copyrighted works under the Fair Use Doctrine. All rights in those works remain with their respective owners. The views expressed are our own and do not represent any other entity.